Bienvenue à la Tour Eiffel, or also known as the Eiffel Tower. This is the tallest point in the city and now pretty well known as the symbol of Paris and France. When it was built, it was the tallest building in the world up until 1930 when New York's Chrysler Building went up. Since those records have been beat several times over. So this was built in 1889 for the World's Fair, which took place in 1890, and then again in 1900. In the centennial celebration, they decided they were going to create a contest. So when they wanted to celebrate the revolution, centennial of the revolution, which was 1770 or 1789, they held this contest for some kind of monument to celebrate that, and this was the winner, designed by Gustave Eiffel, for which the tower is named. Originally, it was just supposed to be a temporary building. They were going to tear it down in 1920, but in 1920, that was during wartime, and it was being used as a radio tower that intercepted signals, and also an observation tower. And so they decided that it was pretty important and didn't want to turn it down. Since then, it's been used as an observatory, a television broadcast studio, and a major tourist attraction. Um, they started lighting it in 1979, and the building itself holds over 30,000 lights, contributing to the City of Lights. Every evening on the hour, it will glitter for 5 minutes. And you can kind of see some of the glitter there. It glitters in gold and silver, but just typically lights up just in gold. And then at midnight, it'll sparkle for 15 minutes. So we at one point went down and had a um, had a picnic down in front of the Eiffel Tower right at midnight, and it was really fun just because we got to watch it sparkle for that whole time. Um, when I first visited the Eiffel Tower, I didn't think it was very pretty, and I was pretty disappointed. And then I saw it at night, and I was no longer disappointed because it's absolutely breathtaking. Um, on this first floor here, you have a couple of just quick cafes, a post office, and then lots of trinket shops. The second floor has an observatory and then one other additional shop, and then the third floor has a very expensive restaurant, and I don't believe there are any shops up at the top. Um, to get to the top, you have to climb 1,710 steps, or you can take one of the two elevators open to the public. The building itself is 1,063 feet tall, if you include the tower at the or the antenna at the top. It has 2.5 million rivets, and the whole structure weighs over 10,000 tons, so 10,000 elephants, which is actually enough to collapse the ground beneath it. However, the way that the arches are created, they support each other. And so the pressure of one leg is actually no greater than the pressure of you sitting in your chair right now. Every 7 years, they repaint the tower just to maintain its looks, and it takes 60 tons of paint and employs quite a few workers at it. Um, the base is so wide that a small plane could fly underneath it, and in fact, it has. And in 1984, a man took his private plane and, without permission, flew straight under the Eiffel Tower. And he was interviewed afterwards, and they asked him why he flew underneath the tower, and he said just for the hell of it, because he could. Now if someone were to do that, that would definitely cause some major issues. were in different times post 9/11, even in France. Um, the whole thing underwent renovation in the 80s, and now it welcomes about 7 million visitors each year, making it the most visited paid for monument in the world. Um, and which Paris is the most visited location in the world, so that makes sense that the number one spot in Paris would be the most visited. It also employs daily about 600 workers, between people selling tickets, maintenance, working in the shops, and things like that. So, quite a few people there. The Eiffel Tower website has a really great view of the tower, and you can see what I was talking about with it being not nearly as, I don't know, impressive maybe as what I originally thought. You can see one of the elevators going up here. Very rarely during the day are you allowed to drive where these cars are driving, but somehow they got a picture of when that's happening. Most of the time, this is all left to pedestrian traffic. So, if we go up, this is on the first floor, and you can see the L'Arc de Triomphe. We just saw that. And let's see what else you can see here. Don't want to move too fast so you can't see things. You can go on their website and explore and find things as you go through. This is a good way to study your monuments and review. This is Arche de la Défense, which we have not studied yet, but will do soon. See if we can get a little closer in. The next view up will show us some more things that. Alright. So we can go and look at the same view in the daytime. So this is from the top, or from the first floor. And you can kind of see some of the metalwork here in the elevator and whatnot. This, for some reason, their website is having a rough time while I'm working on this. So hopefully we'll get it back up here in just a second. So here's the view from the Champ de Mars, which is that marching field that I showed you before, and you can see L'École Militaire here at the end. Fun place to hang out. So here we are on the second tier, and you can see we've gone up a good bit from where we were. See one of the champagne restaurants there. And because we're back to Google Maps, it won't let me circle around, but I do encourage you to get on their website because they have day views and night views, which is pretty cool. And here we are at the top level, and you can see how much smaller everything looks, because here's that marching field, which now looks like a little bitty space. There's the Seine River. Yeah, everything gets a lot smaller up here. You can take a look at this side too. Hello, sir. And then you can go on up to the observation deck. It is pretty cool, and because at night, it gets literally quite cool up here because you can tell it's not glassed in, it's just an open cage, and so you feel the breeze. And here's the nighttime view from the top. You can see why it's called the City of Lights. The top in French is called sommet, like summit. There's the marching field, and then l'École Militaire. I get kind of sick looking at it. If you're afraid of heights, well, this one's pretty high up, so. I still think it's worth it. My husband's a little bit afraid of heights, and I made him climb all the way to the top. He wasn't thrilled about it, but he did it anyway. So also on the website, there are tons of just fun facts. You can see Les Invalides right here, that gold dome sticking out of the top. I thought you could see Notre Dame. I don't see it right now. But yeah, there you go. La Tour Eiffel.